In today's Get Ready With Me, I am doing a full face of drugstore makeup. So I decided to leave the Robe Curls thing in my hair so you guys could see what this looks like. So, you know, like once you get your hair rolled up in it, I'll just turn around so you can see the back side of it. Like it just looks like that. So I've like slept on this all night, and at the end of the video I'll take this out to show you what the curls look like. I just figured I'd wear it up today because honestly this is the perfect way to do your makeup. Like my hair is completely back off of my face for the most part. Might have like a few little baby hairs, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this Get Ready With Me. So I'm going to test out again the Essence Poreless Partner Primer, and I wanted to try this with a more like luminous foundation. I want to see if maybe, since this is supposed to blur out your pores, I want to just see if I can tell a difference using it with a luminous foundation, because like with a matte foundation it's harder to tell. So yeah, let's just go in with the primer. And as always, I've already done my skincare before I started filming this. And to show you guys like what this primer looks like, because I didn't really show you guys that the day that I reviewed these Essence products, but this is the second time using this Essence primer. So I do think that if you see this side of my face versus this side, I think it does kind of blur out the pores a little bit, just seeing it that way. This primer does dry down and get slightly tacky, not as tacky as like the Power Grip primer by e.l.f, but it does get slightly tacky. And I'm just gonna go in with the Vaseline Rosy Lips to moisturize. And for my foundation, I'm going to use the Revlon Serum Tints. I will have all of these products I'm using today listed and linked down below. I do use affiliate links, so if you do purchase anything through my links, I do get a small commission. So thank you if you do. That does help support my channel. So I just put some of that serum on the back of my hand. That might have been a little bit too much. And if you don't like to use the back of your hand to blend out foundations like this, you could get like a little makeup artist palette. Like they sell them on Amazon for not very much. I'll link one that I have down below, and it's a good way to, you know, use it like this and not get foundation on your hands if you don't like dealing with that. But I'm just damping. I'm just dipping my dampened makeup sponge into the product. I just like doing this because it gives me an even working space to use the product. It's like I probably would only truly be able to tell if it was really pore minimizing if I did one side of my face with the primer and this foundation and the other side without. But because it's kind of like hard for me to tell if it did a lot of pore minimizing. I mean, it might have slightly minimized my pores compared to, you know, what it normally looks like. I have some like acne scarring around my mouth, so I like to add a little bit more foundation there and kind of press it into those scars to kind of hide them. So if you are young and you get a lot of acne, do not squeeze it, because that's what I did down here around my mouth. And I mean, it might not really be that visible to you guys, but I have like really larger pores around my mouth because of the scarring. And I'm just taking a little bit more of that foundation. Yeah, so I wish I had pictures to show you guys from whenever I was younger, but I had really bad, like, cystic acne when I was younger. Not extremely huge like cyst, but I definitely had cystic acne, like medium sized. And I remember when I was in middle school, my forehead was covered in acne, and I had it on other areas of my face. I had it really bad on my chest and on my back. And my mom would take me to the dermatologist, and we tried all kinds of different things to help with the acne. And the only thing that cleared it up for me was taking Accutane. And I know that that is like a very like harsh drug to take for acne, but it was the only thing that worked for me. And I had to go on 2 different rounds of the Accutane to get it to completely clear up my acne. But once I did the second round, it 100% healed my acne. It like changed my skin. I went from having like super oily skin to dry skin. So yeah, that was a very interesting time in my life dealing with all that. And I had really bad scars on my chest. I feel like you can't see them so much anymore. They've kind of healed up over the years, but yeah, definitely around my mouth I did have some scarring. Luckily, I didn't have a lot of scarring elsewhere. Like we kind of, started to do what we needed to treat the acne whenever it first started developing. But, that is the thing. Like, if you are a younger kid with acne, some people think it's because you don't clean your skin well or whatever, but mine was 100% hereditary. My dad had terrible acne as a kid, and he had really bad scarring. Like, his back was scarred. Like, he had the really big cystic acne. So that's why my parents were like so on top of it. And my brother also had really bad acne as well. I don't know if I see like a huge difference in my pores, maybe slightly minimize them a little bit. So I'm going to continue to use that primer, see how I feel about it. I wouldn't say that it is much different than the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So, like I said, I'll be testing it out more. Not sure the price difference between this and the e.l.f. one. I'll put it up on the screen, but that is what that primer kind of reminds me of, is Power Grip. So, okay, for concealer, I'm going to first go in with the e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener. I used this for the first time yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. So I want to continue to use this so I can get a good opinion on it for you guys. So I'm just getting some on my finger there and just tapping it on my under eye. The only thing I can say about this packaging that I wish was different is the lip on this. I wish it was much more shallow, because if you wear fake nails or have slightly longer nails, like my nails aren't even that long, it's hard to get down in the product without getting your nails down in the product. So that's really the only downfall that I can see so far with this product. But it seems to be a thinner formula than the Essence Under Eye Brightener and also the Becca. I do think that I like that about this e.l.f. Under Eye Brightener compared to those two, because since I do layer a concealer on top of it, it's like if you're going in with like a heavy, like thicker under eye brightener and then on top of it with the concealer, you have more chances for it to gather into your fine lines, even if you set it. So, I did remember to do my under eye cream today. Just gonna put that here underneath the eyes. I just wanted to see how this worked with that e.l.f. Under Eye Brightener. And it's like, I know that Maybelline makes a brightener in this formula. I have used that in the past. Maybe I should get it and try it again, but I do find the pink shade on that to be a little too pink for me. Like, I need the shade to be a little bit lighter pink in the same way that the e.l.f. Under Eye Brightener is. And then that concealer would be absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to take some more of this concealer and just kind of put it in the areas that I want a little bit more coverage, or I want to like highlight a little bit more. But yeah, this Maybelline concealer has definitely grown on me. And then I'm going in with the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable, and I'm going to set everything. I feel like I might have a cat hair on my face, as per usual. But did any of you guys struggle with acne as a kid? Like the type of acne that you really needed heavy treatment with? You'll have to let me know in the comments, but I know I was in a very blessed situation to be able to take Accutane, because I know that that is not a cheap drug to take for curing acne. But if, you know, health-wise you can withstand taking that drug, because you have to get like your blood work every month to make sure like everything's okay, and you know your insurance covers it. But it is kind of like one of those last resort type of drugs, because it is such a harsh one, but it does work if you do have to take it, or at least it worked for me. And then I'm going in with the powder underneath my eyes. But it's like, obviously you have to talk to your dermatologist about all of that. I think that's why we tried so many other things before we resorted to Accutane, since it is like a last resort kind of drug for treating it. And then I'm just taking off this foundation on my lips, and I'm going to apply some more of my lip conditioner again. It's like, who thought we'd get on the topic of acne today? Okay, and then before I go in to do my eyebrows, I am going to prime my eyelids. I want to just kind of, for myself, compare. I'm not going to do like check-ins or anything in this video. I'm just doing this for myself, like to see which one of these I think works better. Because the other day when I used this for the first time, my eyeshadow creased up by the end of the day, and I don't know if it was this primer that wasn't working, or maybe if it was just the eyeshadows themselves. So yeah, I'm going to use the Urban Decay one on one eye, and then I'm going to use the Essence on the other, because I know that the Urban Decay one definitely keeps your eyeshadows from creasing. Like, I never have an issue. So, and then, like I said, I'm going to put the Essence one on the other eyelid. But yeah, I'm going to let those primers dry down before I go in with my eyeshadow. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. Just going to grab a little spoolie brush and brush up my eyebrows. So finally this week it stopped raining. Last week it was like swamp central here. It was just like raining so much every single day. I was a little bit concerned about our basement, because sometimes our basement floods when we get a lot of rain and the ground gets super saturated with water. But luckily it didn't flood. And yeah, I'm glad that the rain has finally stopped. I think possibly today or tomorrow the sun is going to be out. So I'm looking forward to that, because I feel like I have not seen the sun for a week now. But yeah, and if you're curious like what area of the US I live right outside of Louisville, Kentucky. So kind of like, you know, the northern central part of Kentucky is where I live. And I've lived here my whole life, so I haven't lived anywhere else. Okay, and then once I get the powder on, I might have put a little bit too much powder today. I feel like my brows, whoops, I just dropped my spoolie. I feel like my brows are extra dark today. That's the thing about brow powder. I have to remember to not go too overboard with it because it can, you know, you can apply it lightly and it be a little bit more natural looking, or you can go like really heavy handed and really fill in everything. And then I'm using the LA Girl Brow Perfect Extreme Hold Styling Gel. And I've been loving this gel. This might be replacing the e.l.f. Lash and Brow Clear Mascara. I mean, I do like how affordable that product is, but this isn't too much more expensive. I think this was like around $7. Is that right? Maybe it was like, I don't know. I don't remember how much it was. I feel like it was around $7 though. Like maybe $6.99 or $7.99. Like I was comparing, because sometimes I like to do this, is compare the amount of product, you know, in similar products and think about the price, because maybe it actually is a better deal, even though it might be a little bit more expensive if you are figuring up like the cost by ounce or gram or whatever. So the Brow Perfect has 4.5 grams of product, and which actually this doesn't even have grams on the e.l.f. one. So let's look at the ounces. So this has 0.16 ounces, and the e.l.f. one here has 0.084 ounces. So this has basically double the amount of product of this. So it's like if this is $3 but this is $6, they're basically the same price. So I always think about that with products. I just like how this isn't as wet as the e.l.f. one. I think it holds my brows up a bit better. And I like the little end of the brush on this, like how it has a little spiky things there, because you can get up underneath the brow and push maybe some brow hairs up that, you know, you're having trouble with. So I think that this gel is really good if you have really unruly brows that you need to hold into place, or if you want to brush your brows up and have a little bit more of that fluffy brow look. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like super extreme, like hold, you know, where it just really like puts the brows down and they don't move like hairspray. It's not really like that. It is a little bit more like of a waxy like feel, but it's not so waxy that like the heat of your skin makes the eyebrows fall down. So I think it's a good mix of like wax and just like clear brow gel. All right, so on to the eyes. So I finally picked up some of these e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. I know that you guys were telling me to do some tutorials with these, so I ended up getting sorry, I'm gonna drink some water real quick. I'm mostly over my cold that I had, but I still have like a little bit of phlegm. So I picked up the shade in Rosewater, which is the one I'm going to be using today. I also have Cream and Sugar, Truffles, and I Love You a Latte. And then I also ordered the green one. It's like got green and yellows in it. I can't remember what that one's called. It still hasn't arrived yet, but I will be doing like in my get ready with me videos, I will be using these at some point. So yeah, we're going to use Rosewater today for this look. So first I'm going to use this matte color here in my crease. And I'm just using my Profusion dual-ended brush. I did get this brush in a Profusion palette, so I don't think you can buy this off of their website, but maybe you have one of these brushes, or if you don't have this, just like any blending crease brush is gonna work. But I wanted to kind of create a look today that was a bit more Valentine's Day inspired. Like this weekend, I'm going out with 2 of my girlfriends. We're gonna do Valentine's Day, and where I live, they do this dinner train, or I guess really it's gonna be like a lunch train whenever we go, because it's gonna be like around lunchtime. Also, sorry if that car was loud just a second ago. You guys know that I live next to a busy road, so sometimes it's just like inevitable that you're gonna hear that in the background of my videos. But yeah, so we're gonna get all dressed up and really cute. I kind of thought about maybe I could do, maybe on Saturday whenever I get ready to go, or maybe next week I could recreate the look that I wore to Valentine's Day. Let me know if that would be something that you guys would like to see. And I could show you like the outfit that I wore and all of that. I think that would be really cute. Maybe I could add like clips, like footage of us doing the Valentine's lunch thing. But I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be so much fun. For my highlight shade, since this doesn't have a highlight in this little palette, I'm going to use a Maybelline single shadow. This is in the color Soft Pearl. So it just looks like this. This is actually a pretty decent dupe to that Milani shade that I use all the time. This one here in the Brow Fix Brow Kit. You guys know how much I love this highlight. If you don't have this Milani palette and you know you want to use a highlight shade like I use a lot of the times, so this one up here is the Maybelline one and this is the Milani. So the Maybelline is maybe a little bit more white instead of champagne, and it has maybe slightly a little less shimmer than the Milani one, but like I said, it's fairly close. So like I said, this is Soft Pearl by Maybelline, and I did look this up online yesterday, and Walmart and I believe Target still sells it, so I'm pretty sure this is not discontinued. It's like trying to find not discontinued products in my collection for you guys. So yeah, this is the Maybelline shadow. I really want to find a good single just matte white eyeshadow, maybe like from Maybelline or L'Oreal, like a more accessible drugstore matte single white eyeshadow. Let me know in the comments if you have a good recommendation for that, because I find that that is a hard shade to find at the drugstore sometimes, especially like in a single shadow. I'm gonna use this shade all over the lid, and then I might use this shade here like in the center of my eyelid. Just packing a lot of this color here on a flat shader brush and then just tapping off the excess. I do feel like traffic is a little bit heavier today on the roadways, so I know that like maybe I don't need to apologize for that noise, but I'm sorry if it's really loud in today's video. I know that that's really distracting. I really wish that there was something I could do about the sound, but I just like the way that this room is set up with the window, there is probably no way I'm ever going to be able to cancel out those loud cars driving by. So I don't know. Really the only way I can combat it is to just try to film at times of the day when traffic is not as heavy. And I started filming a little bit later today than I normally film, so I think that's part of the issue. This is such a pretty like Valentine's Day look already. Love these colors. I'm gonna flip this flat shader brush over to the other side that's clean, and I'm gonna get some of this shade right here on the brush. Like if you wanted to use your finger with these colors, you could do that as well. But I'm going to just place that right in the middle. I mean, if you wanted to, you could have just like not applied any eyeshadow right there. Like maybe that would have made this shade a little bit more intense. But I think that works out fine. And then I'm going to go back to that Maybelline single shadow, and I'm going to use that color in my inner corner. But do you guys have any Valentine's plans with your girlfriends? Let us know in the comments. Josh and I, we're going to do for Valentine's Day, we're going to do this thing at a local restaurant. It's called Dinner and a Movie, and you basically buy tickets for it. They show a movie, which they're going to be showing Pretty Woman, and then they do like this 5-course meal, which is super cool. I mean, it's such a fun Valentine's Day experience. We did it last year for the first time, and it's so much fun. Maybe I'll insert some pictures from last year when we went, but they had the room decorated so cute. It was just such a fun time. It was at this local restaurant in Louisville called Ceviche. So if you're ever in the Louisville area, definitely check that restaurant out. It's so good. It is a little bit more pricey, but the food is so good. It's a Latin restaurant. I'm going to take a little bit of this darkest color, and I'm getting it on a pencil brush. This is just my Sigma Pencil E30. I'm going to wipe some of this off because I don't want it to be too crazy intense, but I'm just going to put some of that here on the lower lashes. I'm just going to kind of flick this up almost like a reverse like winged liner effect. It's like a lazy winged liner. That's what I like to call it. And then for the face, I'm gonna use the Milani blush, Silky Matte blush in 02 Sunkissed. And I wanted to bust out a brush that I have not used in the longest time, and I used to use this brush all the time for bronzer. This is the Morphe M437. Not sure if Morphe still makes this brush, but if so, I will link it. And I'll still list any brushes or products that I'm using, even if it's discontinued. So you know, it's like, since I've been on YouTube for so long, sometimes I forget like certain brushes that I've used and loved for certain things, like in my makeup collection, because I have so many makeup brushes. And I've actually gotten rid of makeup brushes over the years that I wasn't using and things like that. Like I was telling you guys in my last video that I'm not going to get rid of something in my collection just because it is discontinued, whether that be like a makeup tool or, you know, actual makeup, as long as it's not like went off or went bad. But yeah, so if there's a makeup brush that I really like in my collection, I'm not going to just like not use it anymore just because it's not made. Like that would be silly. So I hope that you guys do the same thing with your collection. I'm just taking a little bit more of this on my nose. But yeah, this bronzer here, the Milani Silky Matte and the NYX Blush in Taupe, these are both my favorite winter bronzers. For blush, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Hello Halo in Flash Me, and I'm just gonna be using the pink blush side. So I'm just dipping my brush on that side there. Just gonna dab off some of the excess of that blush and apply that to the cheeks. This is just like one of my favorite like built-in highlight blushes. And I don't know if Wet n Wild still sells these. These might be discontinued, but if you do have this in your collection, or if you can get your hands on it, I do think this is a really pretty rosy blush color. Another good like option that kind of creates the same effect as this blush, let me get it real quick out of my collection. The Essence Pure Nude blush. The writing's completely rubbed off the front, but this is in Rosy Rosewood. It has the same effect. I might actually just grab a little bit of the Essence one as well. We're gonna go like super blushy today. Just gonna go back with my sponge, kind of tone it down. Got a little bit out of control. I'm gonna set my makeup with a makeup setting spray, and I'm going to be using the Essence Fix and Last 18-hour makeup fixing spray. And I've been testing this out. It says that this is supposed to give your look a matte effect, And I will say, like, the past couple of days using this, I haven't seen that. Like, it looks basically like how my skin would look if I was using the Urban Decay All Nighter. But I'm still testing this out. I want to test it with, you know, more illuminating foundation to see, like, does it make this look more matte? So for the lashes, I'm going to use these two again. I think that these are so cute for Valentine's Day. For the upper lashes, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Sky High. This is in Burgundy Haze. And then on the lower lashes, I'm going to use the one in Pink Air. I'm going to go ahead and curl up my lashes. I'm going to go in with Burgundy Haze first. And I've told you guys this in other videos, but this burgundy shade is more like a burgundy purple. If you're familiar with the L'Oreal Voluminous colored mascara in deep burgundy, that burgundy shade is more of a red burgundy. So, but I will say that either one of those two burgundy mascaras, I do enjoy them, but I wouldn't say that it's so noticeable. It looks more like a kind of brown mascara. When the light, like if you were in sunlight, you can kind of notice it a little bit more, but like, you know, in a regular lit office or something like that, you're probably not really going to notice a big difference with these burgundy mascaras. So now I'm going in with Pink Air, and I'm putting that here on the lower lashes. So I think to play up the pink, I'm going to use a colored pencil on my waterline. So I have a few different like NYX options here. This is from their Epic Wear eyeliner line. So I'm trying to figure out what color I want to use. I'm going to use Graphic Purple. I just think that's such a fun look with those colored mascaras and like with the purple on the waterline. I was debating on if I wanted to do a lipstick or if I wanted to do a gloss, because I've really been into just doing like glossy lips. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Reviver lip oil in Rose Envy, and then see if I might want to do something different or if this is going to be enough. So now let's take down the hair so you can see how using this thing, like how it works and everything. I'm slowly getting a little bit better with getting it in my hair at night. So it's like yesterday, I just re-curled up my hair from where I had used this the day before. So I'm going to see how this looks. So I just untwist the back here. And then, so this is what I'm saying. Like I use the little clips as opposed to scrunchies just because my hair is so short and it's hard to do the scrunchie thing when you have this much length on the little wrap. And I just found these clips to be easier. I don't sleep on my back. I sleep on my side, so they're not uncomfortable or anything. So it's like literally the easiest thing to take out of your hair. Like a lot of times you can kind of just like unravel it from the bottom if you want, or you can pull it out from the top. Just whatever you feel most comfortable with. Like a lot of times I just kind of pull it out like that. And with it being like satin, like your hair doesn't get wrapped around it and tangled or anything, or at least mine doesn't. So this is, you know, what it looks like when you first take it out. So we're like, whoops, we're pretty curly. But I go ahead and like finger comb it through. And the curls will drop throughout the day. And, you know, like depending on how you wrap it, if you wrap it really tight, you're going to get like tighter curls, which I did wrap it pretty tight last night. So like, as you can see, my curls are very curly right now. But probably like in a couple of hours, this will be dropped some more and it won't be as curly. But like, look at those curls. And it was so like easy. Like I just took that thing out, combed my fingers through, and here we go. So I'll turn around and show you guys the back. I have no idea what the back looks like. It could look like trash. But from the front, it looks really cute, right? So I know that there are a ton of tutorials on how to wrap your hair like that. So I'm probably not going to ever do a specific tutorial on it unless you guys really, really want it. I'm still trying to work out the kinks. I mean, I will say that it is a little hard when you first start using it. Like, I was getting so frustrated at the beginning, and I thought, like, this is not working for me. Like, I'm gonna have to give up. Like, the first time I used it, I probably spent a good hour and a half just trying to get it to work and figure it out. But slowly but surely, it works. So I will link this down below if you are curious about it. Got it off of Amazon. So yeah, but I know that this video was probably longer, so if you stayed until the end, thank you so much. I am so glad to be back here on YouTube filming videos for you guys. Like, that month of January, just posting every weekday really brought me closer to you guys. I feel like I'm on the same page as you, so I'm just so glad to be back. But let me know in the comments any video requests that you have for me. I hope that you guys have a great day today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.